USA Football International Bowl Series.
Tomorrow are being built today thanks to the support of Tyson Fresh Chicken and Stubbs Legendary Barbecue Sauce. Tyson is the presenting sponsor of the USA Football Tailgate Tour, a salute to top high school student athletes selected to play for the U.S. National Football Team. The USA Football National Team program boasts a star-studded list of alumni, including New York Giants running back David Wilson, Florida State quarterback Jameis Winston, Georgia running back Todd Gurley, and Stanford signal caller Kevin Hogan. This fall, the USA Football Tailgate Tour made 14 stops across the country to honor student athletes selected to participate on U.S. national teams. Tour stops featured visits to high school pep rallies, pregame jersey ceremonies, and tailgate parties prior to games, featuring Tyson Fresh Chicken samples prepared with Stubbs legendary barbecue sauces and marinades.
Oh, very excited.
Yeah,
we are so proud of him.
He's a really hard worker, and everything he does, he goes 100%. And he's also a good kid, a good student, just all around a good. With a tackle for the Highlanders.
Tyson and Stubbs made sure that fans walked away with giveaways, had the chance to enjoy interactive tailgate games, and hosted special meet and greet autograph sessions with current and former NFL players, mascots, and cheerleaders.
This is great atmosphere. I mean, it reminded me back of my high school days, like just reminiscing just at this moment. And I mean, those guys are lucky to be out there, even though I'm in the NFL. That was still one of the funnest football times of my life.
Basically because these guys play their hearts out. You know, I mean, it's big. You know, every kid needs to know that they're doing well. Getting these type of things is like really important, and it's going to propel them, you know, to all types of new heights, new goals. It's like, hey, I really accomplished something. And everybody likes accomplishments.
Each of the high schools involved were honored to have the Tailgate Tour visit their school and were great ambassadors for the Tyson and Stubbs brands.
Well, St. Rita football, we're in our 102nd year. The energy here for football games is always great, but Tyson Chicken being here tonight added a lot of flavor, and I know everybody enjoyed sampling the chicken, seeing Desmond Clark, Staley. You know, it was a great night, a great addition to the atmosphere.
It was delicious. I tried every flavor barbecue sauce. I'm from Texas, so I like my barbecue. It's nice. It brings more attention to the school, which is ultimately what we want, is to get the word out about Lutheran North.
In total, the Tailgate Tour impacted more than 30,000 high school football fans in 10 markets from September through November, distributing more than 15,000 Tyson Fresh Chicken samples. The Tailgate Tour had its own microsite featuring a tailgate recipe contest, and tour stops were promoted on USAFootball.com as well as other USA Football social media channels, including Facebook and Twitter. Thank you to Tyson Fresh Chicken and Stubbs Legendary Barbecue Sauce for your support of USA Football's national team program and for helping to create lasting memories for these great athletes.
If I could give a linebacker or a linebacker coach tips that I believe would be impactful to their development, the first thing would be your eyes. What your eyes see is what your body will do. Your body will follow where your eyes are. So you have to make sure that your eyes are in the proper places. You teach the focal points of where that player's eyes should be. All right? So when you see your work, you can get your work done. If you don't see your work, you can't get your work done. So you train the eyes. I want to see, is that guard pulling? Is that guard heavy on his hands? Is he light on his hands? You know, what's the quarterback doing? What's the depth of the running back? What's the splits of the receivers? I need to see all these things and analyze. The linebacker is the most important position on the field. As a linebacker, I'm biased, but I'm telling you, that's the most important position. Why? Because we have to be the guy that understands what that quarterback is doing. We have to be the guy that has enough athletic ability to do what that defensive lineman does. Oh yeah, and what the secondary guys do. We have to be able to be strong enough to deal with offensive linemen, but yet fast enough to be able to run with running backs and receivers. So if I'm teaching a linebacker what he needs to do, you have to get your eyes right. And then secondly, you have to have an intensity about you to be able to do the work that nobody else on that field is going to do, which is be able to make that contact, be able to make tackles, to be able to cover in the passing game. You have to be a well-rounded machine out there on that field.
For me, I always had to do things the right way. I could never get away with doing things just so-so or almost all the way. I had to do everything perfectly. You see me, I'm not a big guy. I'm only about this tall. You know, I probably should have never made it to the NFL. Everyone always looks at me and says, "You played in the NFL?" I say, "Yeah, I know I'm small, but I have a big heart." And I've always heard that, but one thing I know that helps me is doing things the right way. Proper technique, proper study habits. I didn't always have the physical gifts, but the controllables, the things that I could control with film study, with technique, perfect form, perfect tackling, that's what gave me an edge, because I was willing to do everything completely and fully the right way when others maybe just started to slide by. That was my equalizer. That's what allowed me a chance and an opportunity to play the game.
Welcome back to Maverick Stadium here at UT Arlington, the home of the USA Football International Bowl Series. We are in Game 1 of Day 2 of the International Bowl. U17 U.S. team is leading the U17 Canadian team by a score of 19-6. Alongside Sean Lerman, I'm Tom Monfoletto. And, Sean, we saw a pretty close game for the most part, and that huge play by DJ Dobbins, the interception returned for about 70 yards, which led to a Ramar Williams touchdown, really broke things open for Team USA.
And that was really a huge swing because Canada was poised to put up some points at the end of the half that would have made the score 13-13, and we'd be looking at an entirely different ballgame. But that one huge play by Dobbins, the run back, just about 70 yards run back to the 25-yard line, setting up the Ramar Williams touchdown. Instead, it's basically a 10-point swing, just about, as it's now 19-6.
And Team USA comes off a penalty there. It looked like Canada was going to be able to get it in for a score and tie the game up. Like you said, a huge swing there on a remarkable play by DJ Dobbins. Let's take a look at our halftime recap, presented to you by Sports Authority. All things sporting good. Robert Ferguson, the quarterback for Team USA, 93 yards through the air and a touchdown pass. Devin Floyd, 52 yards on the ground and a touchdown a rushing touchdown. Ramar Williams, 17 yards on the ground and a rushing touchdown, which was set up by a nice pass rolling to his left to DeJohn Rogers that got him to about the 5-yard line, and then Williams just took it in from there. Kamari Murray, a 73-yard touchdown reception from Robert Ferguson that went all the way down the sideline. It was Ferguson's second. It was his check down receiver as he was dragging across the field, took it, and then just beat everybody down the sideline. Zachary Beno for Team Canada, 109 yards through the air and a touchdown pass. And Michael Livingstone has really been the biggest bright spot for this Team Canada offense, 90 yards receiving and a touchdown. Also has a couple carries on a few end-arounds and one absolutely incredible catch on the sideline.
And as we take a look at these numbers, that's a lot of yardage. Most of our games yesterday were dominated by the defenses. Not a ton of yards being put up. And today, it's been a different story. The offensives have been clicking. They've been fast with hurry-ups that we didn't see yesterday. And a lot of yards being put up. Defense is still playing well. Just the offenses have been really fun to watch.
They've been fun to watch. They've both spread the field out. It's the first time it's not the first time, but it's the first time we've seen both teams using that spread offense, spreading all of their receivers down the field. I guess my only gripe is that not all the receivers are really getting involved in the game, but offense has been able to move the ball. Team Canada has been having trouble getting it into the end zone. Team USA has been really using their size up front and their athleticism across the board to their advantage, and some really good quarterback play, not only in their execution but also in their leadership and their ability to get everybody to where they're supposed to be before the snap.
And it doesn't seem to matter who's playing quarterback, whether it's Williams, whether it's Ferguson. It's anybody that the United States is throwing in there has done an outstanding job. The offense hasn't missed a beat, which is tough with that hurry-up to switching quarterbacks. You know, guys have different ways of calling plays, a different cadence to their voice that maybe changes things up. You're hearing it as a wide receiver, but it's all been there for the United States offense.
And we'll be right back with our second half here at the United States Football International Bowl here at UT Arlington at Maverick Stadium. Stay tuned.
At USA Football, creating a better, safer game is our #1 priority. The second annual Protection Tour, part of USA Football's Heads Up Football initiative, is a series of free, one-day events for players and parents that delivers expert-driven health and safety education, focused on teaching proper tackling fundamentals, equipment fitting, and concussion awareness.
We need to go out here, start this thing from the bottom level, teach these young athletes, these 6, 7, 8, 9s, how to tackle properly so they can grow up playing the game the right way.
Supported by corporate partners Riddell and AIG, the 2013 Protection Tour impacted more than 2,300 youth football players and parents in 5 NFL markets throughout July and August. Events were hosted by the San Francisco 49ers, Dallas Cowboys, Chicago Bears, Minnesota Vikings, and New York Giants. At each Protection Tour stop, players were introduced to the 5-step heads-up football tackling technique and participated in various football tackling drills, while parents learned about concussion awareness and proper helmet fitting. Each player was measured and sized for a helmet by a Riddell equipment expert to show parents the proper helmet size and fit. Protection Tour stops also included interaction with current and former NFL players.
The concept of team, working with others, and working collectively towards one goal. I think those are life skills, not just football skills. And, I really think that football teaches you more about those skills than any other sport that there is for kids to play today.
7-time Pro Bowl receiver Larry Fitzgerald of the Arizona Cardinals served as the Protection Tour's national spokesperson and conducted a media tour in New York City, appearing on numerous national television and radio shows to promote the events.
There's free tours all around the country at many NFL sites that are teaching proper fittings for helmets and shoulder pads, concussion education, and also proper tackling techniques, which is so important at the youth level.
The Protection Tour teaches young athletes the proper way to tackle and engages parents in the learning process. An educated and engaged youth football parent makes for a better, safer game.
Welcome back to UT Arlington. Alongside Sean Lerman, I'm Tom Monfiletto. This is the USA Football International Bowl. The U17 U.S. squad is leading the U17 Canadian squad by a score of 19-6. We'll take a look at some of the biggest plays from the first half, starting off here with the Ramar Williams touchdown run.
And check out Williams with that cut back right up the middle, juking Canada's defense out of their shoes.
He really just made the entire defensive backfield commit to the sideline. Cut it right up the gut.
A couple of nice blocks on this long touchdown.
That's Kamari Murray, who just beat the entire Team Canada defense down the sideline. Came free on an underneath route, and Ferguson did a great job of going through his progressions and hitting Murray across the middle, allowing Murray to get into the end zone. And that's a nice throw by Ramar Williams to Dijon Rogers. Talked about Rogers all day long. He had an outstanding night at the Jamboree. And reeling that one in, get down to the 5-yard line, setting up the touchdown from Williams. And here's a lone Canada touchdown to Michael Livingstone. A blown coverage by Team USA, but great execution from Benno to Livingstone. And Livingstone is shaping up to be one of the most dangerous weapons here on this Team Canada roster.
90 yards so far. We spotlighted him in our halftime recap. And Livingstone, someone to watch out for. And I'm sure someone that the United States coaching staff talked about during halftime, hey, let's stop letting this guy beat us. Let's shut him down and challenge the rest of Canada to do something.
I think they went up to the whiteboard and they put number 16 and they put number 27 on the board and say, hey, these guys can't beat us. No matter what we do, we cannot let these two guys beat us. Kamari Murray and Devin Floyd back to return for Team USA. As we get set to start here, the second half of play in Game 1 of 3 here on Saturday. And Murray will field it at the 18. He's going to try to get it up the middle, and he does. Breaks a tackle at the 30, and now he tries to get to the outside. That's his favorite sideline. Cuts it back up, but a nice tackle by number 88, Robert Carmichael for Team Canada, but not before a 30-yard gain on the return for Kamari Murray, and Carmichael is the kicker for Team Canada.
Murray with a really good return there, as there was not a ton of space to work with, but he found small holes, had a couple of nice moves, was able to pick up a lot of yardage and get the United States offense some nice starting field position here at the 49.
And Ramar Williams back in at quarterback for Team USA. DeCastro in at tailback.
This offense has really moved when Williams has been leading it.
And it's good to see Forrest back in at center. He was shaken up a bit in the first half. Seems like he is fully recovered. DeCastro leaps over a defensive lineman and gains about 3. Damian Lombardi with the tackle.
Here's that hurry up again.
And Team USA using a hard count, and they've been able to, for the most part, stay disciplined themselves and get Canada off their game. And Williams is going to take this himself. He'll break a tackle and get down to the 45-yard line, which will bring up a 3rd and 5 for Team USA.
Williams, such a great quarterback in that when he stays in the pocket, when he rolls out to throw, he's as good of a passer as anybody you'll see at this level. And when he takes off to run, he's like a running back.
And this one batted down at the line of scrimmage. That's number 7, Tosan Agbayag. That'll bring up 4th down and 5 for Team USA. Ramar Williams does volunteer work every summer. Last year he volunteered at the Senior Citizens Home. Year prior, volunteered at a local track team mentoring kids. Williams focused on getting a very high GPA. He's a really accomplished student, and his grades are a very high priority.
Says the people he'd most like to meet, President Barack Obama, and Peyton Manning.
So some cool dudes. You
Quite
can get in the same
duo.
room as them.
Quite the
Sean,
duo.
we've talked about this all weekend long. Who would yours be?
Oh, I mean, other than Tom Monfiletto,
Okay.
you mean?
Yeah, go ahead.
That's a tough one. I can't even. I'll get back to you on it. I'll let you know maybe in the fourth quarter. I didn't prepare this, Tom.
What a cop out that is.
People should want to meet me, is what I'm saying.
Oh boy.
You know who I'd like to meet? I would like to meet Colin Cowherd, I think.
Okay. Oh well, that's a brutal answer. So, thanks for that. We'll move on. Carosello in the game at quarterback for Team Canada. Javonte Stanley joins him in the backfield. And the give is to Stanley. And Stanley creeps his way through the line of scrimmage. And he's brought down by number 21, David Camacho Jr., coming down from the safety position. They ran that fake end around to Rashawn Dagelman. So they've run that a couple times where they've actually handed the ball off to Dagelman. And this play to set up the opportunity for Stanley. We saw it work a little bit earlier with Metz. So they use Livingstone and they use Dagelman in motion a lot in their offense, whether it's to give them the ball or just open up some more space up the middle. Kawelu Reka making a tackle there for Team USA. We got a 3rd and long for Team Canada on their first drive of the second half.
And Kawelu Reka related to Koamisi, a defensive end for the Miami Dolphins. Trying to follow in his footsteps a bit.
That's a pretty decent bloodline there. Carosello looking to the left. He's got Livingstone wide open, but it's incomplete. Reed Harrison Ducros in coverage for Team USA.
Canada's punting unit has been pretty good so far as they've been able to get the ball downfield. They have the wind at their backs once again with this punt.
Kamari Murray and Devin Floyd to receive for Team USA. Team USA coaches trying to get the ball in Murray's hands as much as they can. And the kick bounces at the 50. Floyd muffs it, but is able to get on top of it. And Team USA will start up at the 37-yard line. Damian Lombardi on the coverage for Team Canada.
Another solid punt. Still good field position for the United States, but a good punt by Team Canada there.
Robert Ferguson will take the reins now at quarterback for Team USA. Ramar Williams getting a series, Ferguson getting a series. And Ronald DeCastro in the backfield once again, Team USA. Ferguson back to pass. And he will be taken down behind the line of scrimmage for a sack as both end rushers for Team Canada converged, and Kenneth Miller is the one who eventually brought him down.
And it seems as though Ferguson has spent quite a bit of his time at quarterback evading defenders. There's been a little more pressure, it seems, when he's back there than when Williams has been back there.
Job for DeJohn Rogers in the slot to Ferguson's right. And the give is to DeCastro. DeCastro fights his way back to the original line of scrimmage. It was Devin Floyd. They made a substitution. So Floyd gets it to about 3rd and 11.
And that play may not have gained a ton of yardage, but those draw plays, what that does is it makes those blitzers think for just a split second more before they come at the quarterback, knowing the running back might still get the ball.
Ferguson back to pass. He's got a receiver open, and he connects at the 45-yard line down to the 40 of Team Canada. Joshua Jacobs reeling it in for Team USA. This is an outstanding route at the bottom of your screen. We get a chance to look at it again as Team USA comes here in their hurry-up offense. utilizing it every time they make a big play. And we're going to take a quick look at the replay here as Ferguson fires a strike to Joshua Jacobs, who finds a seam in that defensive backfield. And the give is to Spite. Spite brought down at the 35-yard line for a gain of 5. So the Team USA offense is starting to roll here. Coming in with groups of substitutions. Humphreys back into the game for Team USA. And the give to Spite once again, and he is swallowed, quite literally, by Mitchell Thiel.
Literally swallowed.
Yeah, well, look at the size of Mitchell Thiel.
He's a large, large man.
He's a big, big boy. Pretty difficult to block, I would assume. Somebody that's going to have a pretty decent future in this here game of football. Ferguson back to pass once again. Leads Devin Floyd, and Devin Floyd with an outstanding catch on the sideline. First down, Team USA. A back shoulder pass on a wheel route to his running back. Great throw and catch from Ferguson to Floyd.
And how about the touch in between 3 defenders? That was a beautiful throw.
Excellent anticipation by Ferguson, putting it where it needed to be, as they're going to let him toss it once again. Now to the back of the end zone. Kamari Murray, touchdown, USA! Kamari Murray, his second touchdown of the day, and Ferguson, his second touchdown pass of the day.
Two great tosses in a row there by Ferguson, trying to make a case for player of the game.
I think both of them are. That's their second connection. As we get to the touchdown pass here, and they're going to go for 2. So we'll cut out of the replay and we'll go to live action. We'll show you that in just a second. And the give is to Floyd. And Floyd, after the great catch to set up the touchdown, gets into the end zone for a 2-point conversion. When we get a chance, we'll take a look at the touchdown reception to Kamari Murray, which is a similar pass to the one he just threw to Devin Floyd. Another back shoulder pass here, Sean, and a really athletic play by Murray. And Ferguson putting it right on the money. Really smooth route running by Kamari Murray.
Absolutely. Great route, really good throw over that back shoulder. Really just great connection between these two guys.
So Team USA now takes a 27-6 lead. They are in full control of this game. Don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, we have a 4 o'clock game between the second U17 team for Team USA and Team Canada. So we have another U17 matchup coming up at 4. Sean Lerman will have the call alongside Lincoln Rose, and then Lincoln Rose and I will bring you the U18 game, which will be held at 7 o'clock. All games, all weekend long, have been held at the University of Texas Arlington here at Maverick Stadium. As Lincoln described last night, this has been the venue for a lot of high school football almost every Friday night in the fall. And Metz on the return. He is brought down immediately after bobbling the return. Jack Fording, 5'11", 210-pound, imposing linebacker from Southlake Christian in Davidson, North Carolina. On the tackle for Team USA. Connor Carasello back into the game for Team Canada. And Team USA, so far, they have won 2 out of the 3 games. And if this keeps going the way that it has been, it might take a 3-1 lead in the series. And Brandon Metz on the carry for Team Canada. He'll get about 2. Much like we saw last night, Sean, the defensive line play for Team USA has really been outstanding.
Yeah, and playing with a lead is pretty nice when you're the defensive line, too. You can be a little more aggressive. You feel a little better when you know you don't have to worry. You don't have that threat that you're going to give up a game-winning play, something that's going to give Canada life. When you have that 21-point lead, as the United States does right now, you can really just play the game.
Nick Valentine and Dylan Daniels on the interior for Team USA. And blitzing up the middle was Alex Stevenson. And Quincy Bellinger will take this one in short of the first down, I believe.
Looks like he's just about a yard short there.
Yeah, but a good pitch and catch on second down to make it 3rd and 1 for Team Canada. Not a lot of 3rd and shorts for Team Canada today. So Metz will join Caracello in the backfield. And Caracello will keep it. And he's being chased. He's going to throw down to the sideline, and it is complete to Quincy Bellinger once again. A well-executed play by Caracello, who kept it long enough to bring a couple of defenders off of Bellinger and to free up his receiver, and just nails him down on the sideline.
That was a really nice play fake, and that gave him the extra time he needed to get the ball out and past the first down marker.
So Caracello with a first down, trying to orchestrate a scoring drive here for Team Canada, who's only been on the board once today. Caracello back to pass. Looking over the middle. It is incomplete. Harrison Ducros once again on the coverage for Team USA. Harrison Ducros, 5'8", 160 pounds, from Colleyville Heritage High School, Grapevine, Texas. And a draw play to Brandon Metz gets about 3. Alex Stevenson, Lauren Mundy on the tackle for Team USA. It'll bring up a 3rd and long now for Caracello. Caracello back to pass. He's looking for Dagelman. And he finds him at the 45, but Dagelman gets nowhere. What a play by Kowelu Reka. A defensive lineman coming out to help out on the tackle. And Dagelman's going to feel that one tomorrow.
And Kowelu, really athletic at 6'2", 230 pounds, but he can move.
Stevenson rushing up the middle, and Reka just finishing that tackle off. It'll be 4th down and 3 now for Team Canada. Caracello back to pass. Looking down to the right sideline, and he throws it a little bit behind his receiver. That was Dagelman once again, and it'll fall incomplete, and Team USA will take over on downs.
And I think that's a catchable ball. That's when you have to reel in on 4th down when you need to get back into the game. That's such a huge opportunity to get back into it, but instead it'll be U.S. ball.
I think so too, Sean. I think it was a little bit behind Dagelman, but I think that catch has to be made. I'm really impressed with Caracello on that drive, making some plays for Team Canada. Robert Ferguson back in the game for Team USA, going with the hot hand here. Looks like they'll continue their hurry-up offense. Joined by Floyd, it looks like, in the backfield. Ferguson stepping up in the pocket, and he will not avoid the pressure from number 95, Kenneth Miller, for Team Canada. Check that. That'll be Dominic Cipriani. A lot of Italians on this Canadian squad, Sean.
It seems like it. Canada, a very diverse country.
Aaron Spite in the game for Team USA. And Ferguson will keep this, but he's got nowhere to go. Nice job by the interior line for Team Canada. Led by number 95, Kenneth Miller, and Adam Caracello. Spencer Smith was the one that will be credited for the tackle. Cipriani looks like he hurt his shoulder on the last play. So we'll have a quick break in the action here. And while we do that, we will tell you about some of our sponsors that help make this presentation possible today. A portion of today's game brought to you by Riddell. Protect and perform. Riddell providing all of the equipment for the Team USA players. By Sports Authority, all things sporting good. And by Shock Doctor Sports, the leader in mouthguard technology. Shock Doctor also sells some performance apparel, some of the padded dry fit shirts that players wear under their jerseys, and this is incomplete. Pass intended for William Humphreys. Humphreys has been targeted quite a bit here today, Sean, the big tight end.
Yeah, and there's a reason. Humphreys is a big target, and a lot of times you talk about at the NFL level, you'll say, well, a young quarterback's best friend is the big tight end. Well, all these quarterbacks are young, so it's nice to have that big tight end to throw to.
I wonder why that is. Probably because of his size, easy to see, usually not very far away from you, and usually pretty reliable, wouldn't you say? And he blocks for you sometimes.
Matched up a lot of times with smaller defenders as well.
Right. Quincy Matrix Baker will call for the fair catch. So with 2 minutes and 41 seconds to go here in the third quarter, Team USA still in control. 27-6 is the score. Connor Carasello back into the game for Team Canada. Head coach for Team Canada is Bill Brown, who's currently the Special Forces Coordinator and Director of Recruiting and Football Development for the Guelph Gryphons. Doing a pretty good job with the U17 Team Canada squad that he's had all week. And setting up for a screen here. It is complete, but he is met immediately by Zach Duden. Javante Stanley on the reception. But nothing doing there.
The U.S. has done a pretty good job of being aware of the screen passes. Canada ran a lot of those screens yesterday, so obviously the United States was paying attention.
And those, Sean, those plays can be very, very effective, and they can really catch a defense off guard. But when a defense is ready for it, those are one of the easiest plays to defend because nobody's blocking you. Bellinger breaks a tackle, and it'll be 3rd and 5 for Team Canada. 3rd and about 6. He's brought down by David Camacho Jr. Camacho Jr. racking up some of the tackles today in the stat sheet.
Camacho Jr. really having a great game. He has at least 6 or 7 tackles, it seems. He's been all over the field. He's been making plays downfield in the secondary. He's come up and made stops behind the line of scrimmage, and then also the kicking and punting duties. He's done a great job.
Carasello back to pass, looking to his right. Got a man open, underthrows him. Incomplete. That'll bring up 4th and 7. Pass intended for Rushan Degelman. Brandon Speller to kick it away for Team Canada. Devin Floyd and Kamari Murray back to receive for Team USA. Pick your poison here, Sean.
Kamari Murray's done a really good job, but, Floyd, the way he's run the ball, he could return it just as well.
And they won't allow either of them to do it as Speller kicks it out of bounds. Team USA will take over at their own 36-yard line. And there is a flag on the play. And it'll be a block in the back against Team USA, so that will bring them back even further. So from the 36, it will take them back, all the way probably to the 21, I think.
That's a big, big swing.
It's only a 10-yard penalty, so we'll bring them back to the 26, and we'll try to see it here. I think it occurred at midfield somewhere. John Flores checks into the game at receiver, and there we see it in the middle of your screen. At quarterback, I'm sorry. So Flores looking to march the Team USA offense into the end zone for the fifth time today, I should say. 27-6 is the score. Spite with a nice move to the outside, and he'll be dragged down at the line of scrimmage. Spencer Smith on the tackle for Team Canada. So it'll be 2nd and long for Team USA. Corners back off the USA receivers. And this is incomplete, intended for DeCastro, but there was absolutely nothing doing there. And that was a quick reaction from quarterback John Flores, where I'm sure if he had another opportunity to do that, he probably would have eaten it and maybe just tried to rush up the middle. But there was nothing doing there. He had a linebacker and a defensive end ready to pounce. And this one goes for no gain. So it'll be 4th and long for Team USA. Brought down by Mitchell Thiel. And this is not a very productive drive for Team USA as 20 seconds tick off the clock here in the third quarter.
No, but I think that's more a credit to Canada's defense on this drive than it is a negative for the offense. The defense for Canada has really made some adjustments here and played well.
So Team Canada trying to fight and claw their way back into this game as Team USA will let the clock run out in the third quarter. They have a 21-point lead. I was about to say 19. My goodness, I'm getting rusty in my mathematics. 27-6 is the score. The U17 Team USA is leading Team Canada, and we'll be back right after these important messages.
NFL Flag, powered by USA Football, is an exciting way to get into the game. NFL Flag is fun and fast-paced, emphasizing football, fitness, fundamentals, teamwork, and sportsmanship. Leagues are easy to start and open to both boys and girls ages 5 to 17. All NFL Flag players receive a USA Football membership as well as an official NFL team jersey, flag set, and insurance. An incredible value. Coaches receive a USA Football membership and insurance as well. So sign up now to become a better player and have fun with NFL Flag.
And the punt from Camacho is fielded by number 6, Quinn Matrix Baker. And Baker gets about 7 on the return. So Team Canada will take over. Zachary Beno in at quarterback. Seeing if he can use his arm to find some of these open Canadian receivers. But sometimes, Sean, even if they're open, they're unable to convert. We saw a couple of drop passes earlier. A pretty important drive for Team Canada.
Yeah, especially on that 4th down. That drop at the end of that drive was absolutely killer. Canada will really have to hustle to get back into it now in the 4th.
Metz has some room to run, but McDonald is right there to catch him. So McDonald, a nice play from the linebacker position. Had himself a really nice game. McDonald goes to DePaul Catholic in Parsippany, New Jersey. I mentioned that conference last night, Sean. That's the conference that has Bergen Catholic, Paramus Catholic, Don Bosco Prep, St. Peter's Prep, where Jonathan Hilleman went to high school, the BC-headed running back who we saw last night in the U19 game. So some really good football up there in North Jersey.
Oh, yeah, some absolute studs.
Beno with the pass to the sideline, and McDonald with another tackle. Brought in by Brandon Speller.
Another big 3rd down for Team Canada here. And a big opportunity for the United States to start putting this one away. If they can cause a turnover here, force Canada to punt, and then start running the ball, running some clock, that's got to be the strategy for the United States.
Beno's got Metz with him in the backfield. And it looks like they drew the U.S. offsides. They did. This will be a free play, and it will be incomplete. So Canada will gain 5. I'm not sure if this will give them the first down or not.
They'll be really close to it if they don't have it.
You know what we haven't seen so far?
A measurement?
A measurement.
We have yet to see a measurement for a first down.
We have our camera operator, Derek Raymond, begging for a measurement. I mean, what does he have to do to get a measurement?
Is that the highlight of a camera operator's day, is the measurement?
Sometimes it could be. The highlight of my day is seeing the sun and being here with you, Sean.
Yes, the sun. It's very glad to see the sun. This is our 5th or 6th day here in Arlington, and we finally get to see the sun. It's very nice.
Be 1st and 10 for Team Canada as Livingstone comes in motion. But the give is to Metz. Metz with a nice move to the left, and here he goes once again. Down at the 38-yard line, at the 42-yard line, I should say, and he is brought down by number 24, Michael Kay. Only a 6-yard gain, but
yeah, I was gonna say it felt like a lot of work for a 6-yard gain.
A great effort by Metz. And the draw goes to Metz once again, but he is met immediately by number 25, John Brannon. John Brannon, when asked if he had any summer jobs, he said, "I train like a beast."
Well, it's showing.
I'd like to see the application for that job. Wonder if there's an interview process there.
Is that 1099 or W-2?
I don't know. Benno, back to pass. He's got a receiver open. That's Speller across the middle. But Speller is met immediately by DJ Dobbins, not before a first down for Team Canada.
Canada finally putting some things together offensively, a few positive plays in a row.
So Benno at the helm for Team Canada, leading them down the field in one of their more successful drives of the day. And he'll keep it off the left side. And coming up to make a nice tackle is Michael Kay once again.
Looks like just about a 1 or 2 yard gain there.
Michael Kay from Greenbrier High School in Evans, Georgia. He's a sophomore, standout sophomore. And the draw play to Metz once again, and Metz goes nowhere. Jack Fording on the tackle from South Lake Christian. Jack Fording with the size of a defensive tackle, but the quickness of a linebacker.
And another guy out of South Lake Christian who's produced a litany of outstanding football players, and I think we're going to have a holding penalty here.
Benno was looking for Brandon Metz and couldn't find him, so tried to reverse field, and I think it did create the opportunity for a hold on Team Canada. And we'll see what the flags are. There are a couple flags that came in at the end of the play as the pass was complete to Quincy Bellinger. So a good job by the Team USA defense to cover this up and not allowing Team Canada to do what they originally intended to do. And then we have the hold right there.
Oh, that's a pretty soft hold.
And Benno rolling to his right. And I think the flag was on the hit on Benno, actually. Not positive, but it could have been. Okay, so the receiver went out of bounds and came back in. That was the penalty at the end of the play that you saw.
So 2 penalties against Canada on that one. It ends up being a 10-yard loss and replay of 3rd down.
3rd and 15, and one thing that Canada's had trouble with is keeping their negative plays in check. Do you see what I'm saying?
Absolutely. You know, they've had a hard time with that. They have a bad play, and then the next one's going to be bad as well.
And the catch made over the middle by Brandon Metz. A nice diving grab by the tailback who was split out wide there. So Metz, a formidable weapon here for Team Canada. I think I just mean more so that their bad plays have been really bad. So it's not like just a loss of 2, it's a loss of 15 when they're really driving. And this one will fall incomplete. Colin Dowling and Dylan Daniels on the play for Team USA.
And it's a turnover on downs. Great job by the United States defense to hold on strong there.
Dylan Daniels, 6'3", 220 pounds, out of Crowley High School in Crowley, Texas. Looking to extend his future, just like so many other USA Football alumni. And the USA Football Alumni Spotlight is brought to you by Upper Deck. Collect the best. Since 2009, 8 former Team USA players have gone on to play in the NFL, including New York Giants running back David Wilson, Cardinals defensive back Tyrann Mathieu, and Patriots wide receiver Aaron Dobson. Also a slew of current college players, including Jameis Winston, Ty Montgomery, Kevin Hogan, Tareen Folston, Stephon Tuitt, Jackson Shipley, Bryce Petty for Baylor. We'll take a closer look at what Jameis Winston was able to accomplish this year. He was a member of the 2012 U.S. Under-19 team here at the International Bowl, and he was a Heisman Trophy winner this year, as well as the national champion in his redshirt freshman year at Florida State. So really took the world by storm after competing in the International Bowl just a couple of years ago.
And I think Jameis Winston, you can almost bet that he's going to get added to that list of guys in the NFL. He's going to be a very productive NFL player.
And Devin Floyd with the carry. And a nice stiff arm at the 45 gets into Team Canada territory, but it looks like this one's coming back.
And that Floyd stiff arm has been really, really nice today. It's a shame because he did a great job, fought hard on that run for that one to be brought back.
Tanner Holcomb called for the hold for Team USA, the 6'3", 250-pound offensive lineman from South Paulding High School in Hiram, Georgia. Second and long now for Team USA. John Flores in at quarterback alongside Devin Floyd. Just had a run taken away. Flores rolls to his right, gets a nice block from Floyd, finds a receiver down the right sideline, and a nice completion and a nice gain there. Pass is complete to Jason Pirtle, the 6'3", 190-pound receiver at a Locust Grove High School.
And how about the yak, Tom? The yak.
Some serious yak, getting it to a 3rd and 6 opportunity now. A 9-yard gain. Pirtle, Butler, and DeJohn Rogers to the left of Flores. Kamari Murray at the top of your screen.
Have to hurry. 3 seconds on the clock.
And he just gets it away and gets it to Floyd. Floyd's got some space. At the 40, breaks a tackle but can't stay on his feet. He'll be down at the 43-yard line, but that's good enough for a first down for Team USA. So offensive line really digging in their heels and getting some work done here as the game comes closer to an end. 5 minutes and 20 seconds to go in the game. Portions of today's game brought to you by St. Vincent Sports Performance, defining sports performance, by Stubbs Legendary Barbecue Sauce, made right with all natural gluten-free ingredients, and by Marriott, the official hotel partner of USA Football. And the give is to Floyd, who cuts back, gets across midfield, and makes an unbelievable play, breaking a tackle from number 41, Eno Choi. Just kind of angrily pushed him away with his legs.
He does run angry.
Devin Floyd, only 5'7", 160 pounds from Riverside, California, but is running like a giant today.
U.S. offense in no rush here. Take some time off the clock.
And they're going to give it back to Floyd. Floyd dragged down by his shoulder pad by number 54, Herzog.
You don't really need to rush when Floyd's running the way he is, gaining yards in chunks.
And this is really where you need your backs and your offensive line to take over, Sean. 4 minutes to go. Canada does have 3 timeouts left. But run down that clock, seal the victory. Your ground game is where it's at, as we saw so much of that this year from the San Francisco 49ers and Frank Gore. Marshawn Lynch, of course, whenever there was a lead, they're like closers in baseball. Floyd gets it once again, breaks it to the outside. Oh. Another beautiful move, gets down to the sideline. He'll go out of bounds at the 10. Devin Floyd.
Devin Floyd is doing some work, Tom.
25-yard gain from the line of scrimmage, and he is doing all that he can to wrap this up for Team USA. Jaron Bitloy in at slot receiver for Team USA. See him closest to the line of scrimmage, off to the left. And Floyd finds a seam to the right side. Devin Floyd back into the end zone. And another touchdown for Team USA.
And that was probably the easiest touchdown that you will see all day. Floyd made one cut, and there it was, nobody within 15 yards of him. As we see it here, Floyd will take the handoff up the middle. Just one cut to the outside, and there he goes. Nobody anywhere in the vicinity.
What really cleared that up for him was the pulling guard for Team USA. I believe that was number 74, Nico Russolillo, who really opened the doors for Devin Floyd, who had his second touchdown of the game that he could have probably just walked into the end zone. And Floyd is having an outstanding day, but this offensive line has shown up in a big way as well.
And they blew that extra point attempt dead. Looks like a false start against USA.
So it'll be 5 yards deeper for Camacho. 3:22 left to play here. Team USA takes a 33-6 lead. And Camacho blasts this one through the uprights. 34-6 now is the score. And Hector, I almost called him Hector Camacho. David Camacho Jr. converting on most of his extra points here today, but I think we have been more impressed with his play at free safety, as he's been making tackles all over the field. I just wanted to remind you that portions of today's broadcast brought to you by Gatorade, the G-Series Prime, Perform, and Recover. By Cutters, no other glove performs like Cutters. Cutters was able to provide all the gloves for Team USA. And Tyson Fresh Chicken. Serve chicken that's farm fresh. Serve Tyson Chicken. Had a great week so far here in Arlington. This is day 2 of the USA Football International Bowl, as the first U17 game started at 1 o'clock. The next U17 game between U.S. and Canada will begin at 4 p.m., and then subsequently at 7 p.m. it will be the U18 game. All of our games have been covered live, simulcasted on YouTube for our Canadian viewers, and also on ESPN3 and the Watch ESPN app. So we want to thank everybody joining us on whatever platform it is. Game is being produced by Strive Network. You can go to strivenetwork.tv. Follow us on Twitter at strive_network. The ball falls off the tee. Camacho replaces it.
Looks like it fell over once again.
And it fell over once again. The wind is howling a little bit. The sun is out, but the wind is going crazy. So they might need...
Looks like we'll have a holder.
DJ Dobbins to come in and hold it. Now, you know what I was always curious about, Sean? Does this change? Because everybody has a certain lane assignment and a certain priority on the kickoff team. Now, does this change the responsibility for the kickoff team when you have a holder come in to hold it?
Well, I think what we're going to see is the ball is going to get kicked to the left side of the field to kind of lessen that responsibility by the right side.
And this will go out of bounds as Team Canada will have the option to re-kick or take the penalty. And we've been staying all week at the beautiful Marriott in the DFW Airport South Marriott. Have been nice enough to put us up in their beautiful amenities and transforming breakfasts.
Oh, very delicious breakfast. That buffet, my goodness.
And nothing like a good night's sleep. Portions of today's game are brought to you by Marriott, the official hotel partner and VIP hospitality sponsor of USA Football and the U.S. National Football Team. So a big special thanks to Marriott for their support of USA Football and the national team program. Caracello in the game at quarterback for Team Canada. Hands it off to Stanley. Stanley off the left side and gets a first down for Team Canada. Javante Stanley, Brandon Metz, two extremely exciting backs for Team Canada. Caracello back to pass. Throws to his right. Speller can't come up with it, and it'll be incomplete.
That was a dangerous way of not catching the ball. Usually you see a guy doesn't catch it, it hits the ground. That one was up in the air for a little while.
I think he might have heard the footsteps of big Ezra Rice, the 6'1", 240-pound defensive lineman out of DePaul Catholic in New Jersey.
How about these defensive linemen making plays all over the place, not just in the backfield, not just on the running backs, but defensive linemen making plays on wide receivers. Outstanding.
Rice and McDonald, both teammates at DePaul Catholic. Caracello back to pass. Trying to set up a screen. It's not there. He's going to throw it downfield, and this one is picked off. Wesley Smith with the interception of Caracello's pass, and it'll be Team USA football now.
And if this one wasn't already done, I think that'll just about do it. USA, with just another couple first downs, should be able to end this one, even though Canada has all three timeouts.
Wesley Smith in the right place at the right time, comes up with the pick, a little bit underthrown there by Caracello, and he's able to get to the sideline, but forced out of bounds before he can make anything more of it. And a nice play by Wesley Smith, the strong safety for Team USA. Looks like Ramar Williams is back into the game for Team USA, flanked by Aaron Spite in the backfield. Williams takes it off to the left side, and he will be brought down by a couple Canadian defenders. Chris Sabat and Kenneth Miller helping out on the tackle. And just to remind you, you can be a part of these development teams and these national teams by signing up for the regional development camps, where you will be coached and taught by NCAA college football coaches. You can come out to one of USA Football's many regional development camps, making stops in 17 cities this spring from February to the end of May. For more information, call the national team's office at 609-662-4495. Go to usafootball.com. Aaron Spite brought down after a gain of about 4, so it'll bring up 3rd and 6 now, and we've got 2 minutes to go here in the fourth quarter. 3rd and 7. Team USA going to let this clock run down as much as they can. Both teams still 3 timeouts left, but the lead has become insurmountable. And the give is to Spite up the middle. Spite's looking for the end zone. Brought down at the 7-yard line. Tackled by Tosan Agbayag.
Well, that should do it, as now all the U.S. really needs to do is take a knee.
And we have a player shaken up on the play for Team Canada. That is the man who came in to make the tackle, Agbayag. Have an unfortunate circumstance to happen this late in the game. But so far it's been a pretty clean, good, hard-fought game here between both sides, Sean.
Oh, absolutely. It's been very clean. I mean, the penalties even, which were all over the place in the first half, almost completely eradicated in the second half as the teams really focused on playing good, legal football.
Yeah, and a really kind of explosive offensive second half for Team USA as they had everything clicking. No matter who was in at quarterback, Kamari Miller made an outstanding catch in the end zone. Ramar Williams did a fantastic job. And also Robert Ferguson with 2 touchdown passes. As always, in these games where they've had so much success, it's going to be a little bit difficult to decide who will get the MVP for Team USA. And stay with us after the game. There will be an MVP Player of the Game ceremony, as we will be planning out a Riddell Player of the Game trophy to each squad. Just under a minute to go here. Team USA will have to run a play. Can't just run the clock out.
And they might run it in for a touchdown.
I doubt they would. But Miller's going to keep it, and he is going to try to get it into the end zone. He'll be brought down at the 2-yard line. Now 33 seconds to go. And it will be 3rd and 3. So, Sean, the 4 o'clock game, you have the call. The U17 squad, the likes of Robert Washington, and all kinds of star athletes and studs on that squad.
Yeah, especially take a look at the wide receiver position for that U17 Red squad. Absolutely stacked.
Lindell Stone, the quarterback, Taylor Rapp as well.
Mark Birmingham, a tight end wide receiver. London Kraft, just a ton of stud wideouts in that game.
It should be an exciting one here as the first section of the U17 squad for Team USA takes down Canada by a score of 34-6. We had a tremendous defensive performance from Team USA and an offensive explosion here in the second half. And Team USA, a dominant performance. They are now 3-1 in the series here at the International Bowl. So we are going to take a look at our players of the game, and we will join Garrett Shea on the middle of the field as we will decide who will become the players of the game for Team USA and for Team Canada, and we'll be back right after this. We're going to take a quick break. You're watching the USA Football International Bowl. And welcome back to the U17 U.S. vs. Canada game, as the player of the game for Canada has been awarded. Michael Livingstone will get the player of the game for Team Canada with a receiving touchdown, a couple of carries, and an outstanding catch, one-handed catch on the sideline for Team Canada.
And Livingstone, certainly not a surprise, had a great game.
And Devin Floyd will take home the MVP. Well-deserved. Devin Floyd, the running back, with 2 touchdowns in today's game. 123 yards on 16 carries. Also added 4 catches for 47 yards. So Devin Floyd and Michael Livingstone, your Riddell players of the game. So a lot of people to choose from. Sean, do you think it was warranted for Devin Floyd to get it?
I think so. I mean, 170 total yards of offense. Hard to go unnoticed. It seemed like every time he got the ball, he was running for big yardage. And it wasn't just running for big yards on first and second down in running situations. He was getting it done on 3rd down and 7. They could give him the ball, and he'd bust through for a 10-yard first down.
Like you said, his vision really led the way for him today. His big offensive line cleared some paths for him, but then he did the rest. He had a nice catch on the sideline that set up another beautiful catch by Kamari Murray in the end zone, and really this offense went through him, I think, all game long today. The quarterbacks did a fantastic job. Williams, Flores, Ferguson, Kamari Murray also probably in the talks for MVP with 2 touchdowns himself, but an outstanding, complete effort by this U17 USA squad.
Absolutely. Just a great game in every facet.
Stay tuned for the 4 o'clock version of the U17s playing Team Canada here at UT Arlington live from Maverick Stadium. Thanks so much for tuning in. We will be back in about 30 minutes.